Special thanks to Saber for sponsoring this review of Redout 2. Welcome to Redout 2. Get ready to overload your senses and use every single thing that you have in your hands. This game is all about racing and full control over your ship. You ever wondered what it's like to drive next to a black hole? Redout got you covered. So, some of you guys might be familiar with Redout 1 or anti-gravity races in general, and this is what you get. Redout 2 does things differently and yet similar to games of the past. The best way to explain it is to show it to you. The trial section of the game will teach you the basics of the game and is basically the tutorial. In order to maneuver your ship, you're going to be strafing left and right with your right analog stick, steering with the left analog stick. Also, you will be combining steering and strafing at the same time to get around tight corners. In Redout, you get to pick one of 12 race chassis that can be upgraded with further upgrades that you unlock playing through the career mode to truly build a unique vehicle for you that is also good for the event. Not only will you change your loadout for a performance gain, you will also have the ability to change your look in a very detailed fashion. You will be able to change your spoiler, your jet engine, your auxiliaries, the power unit, the flaps, the power cell, and as well the tip of your craft. And that's not all, you can also of course change your color scheme and also add a livery until you got a vehicle that is truly yours. With that out of the way, let's jump into the event. Redout 2 is not easy. Let me explain. In the option, you will find the game's difficulty. It ranges from 0 over chill to pilot, Redout, master and nightmare. I could only win all the way up to pilot. I could not do Redout or higher. And even pilot is an extremely high challenge for me, and I prefer to play on chill most of the times. That being said, the game has a lot of assistant controls to make the game easier. I prefer to have it completely off, with one exception. I turn the boost safety to 5%, which will stop me from exploding when I boost too much. So this game has a lot of controls for you that you're gonna have to learn. You will be steering and strafing at the same time to get around corners. Additionally, you have two boosts, the regular boost and the turbo boost, which will be activated after 25 seconds of racing. Additionally, you will have to pitch your ship up and down when you go into a loop or even just go around some corners. Additionally, you will have to manage the heat of your ship. As your ship overheats, you will lose health. When your health reaches 0, your ship will explode. For the maximum speed boost, you want to activate the strong boost and combine it with the regular boost. But this will overheat your ship extremely quickly, so be careful. Redout 2 is probably one of the hardest racing games I've ever played, but this is exactly what this game is all about. It's not supposed to be easy, it is supposed to challenge you. Progressing in Redout 2 isn't easy either. You will have to unlock performance upgrades, primarily in order to even stand a chance in any of the follow-up events. I found myself actively searching for the events that actually rewarded you with a performance upgrade in order to progress. Redout 2 offers you 10 different locations with 36 racetracks for you to race in. They are available in both directions, so you will have a total of 72 racetracks. Every single track coming with their own gravity, atmosphere and temperature, which will heavily impact how you're going to be racing on those tracks. Redout 2 also comes with a multiplayer mode, which will get a ranked mode soon, as well as seasonal and community challenges, so look out for that. One of the first tracks that I found difficult was Tartarus Mines. This is where we're gonna be introduced to new game elements. The more you progress in the game, the harder the game becomes. The tracks will feature jumps, where you have to balance your vehicle, but also barrier-less tracks. And this is where the rewind feature comes in handy, which allows you to do it again, which is great for learning the track. A much welcomed assist that I wish the first Redout already had. This game is all about mastering the tracks. Once you get a grip on your vehicle, it comes down to learning the tracks so you know what you need to do before it even happens. A mix of steering, strafing, and pitching a vehicle is critical to not crash your ship. This jump was not easy. I had to retry and rewind it many times until I finally got the correct landing. Not only will you have to fight with your opponents, but you also will have to fight yourself to make sure that you do the right inputs to survive the track. This game was made for people that are looking for a challenge. You can turn on the assists to ease yourself into the game, but trust me, at some point you're gonna be turning off those assists and try to get as fast and as clean as possible around the tracks of Redout 2. A great way to maximize your speed is combining boosts. Not only the super boost and the regular one, but also combine them with boost pads on the track. In comparison to a Wipeout game or an F-Zero, Redout's tracks are not short. You're gonna be spending many minutes on a single lap, therefore it's gonna be a lot harder for you to learn the tracks than maybe comparable games. As you're progressing through Redout, the performance of your ship will increase and you will have to adjust your car on a consistent basis. The events in the career require your ship to be at a certain performance level. As you unlock your rewards, it will allow your car to enter or be too strong so it can't enter anymore. Before every event, you're gonna have to change the performance of your ship. Redout 2 comes with 12 different ships and they all come with their own strengths and weaknesses. Depending on the event, you will be swapping out ships and parts to match the requirements. Do you need more steering, top speed, stability, thrust, durability, or strafing? Once you picked your ship, you will have to also customize the performance parts. Always make sure that you have as much as possible equipped that is still within the range of the event. I found myself prioritizing events that actually unlock these performance parts to make sure that my ship has always the best possible stats for the event. Figuring out the perfect setup for events is going to be crucial. The wrong ship or the wrong performance parts will leave you behind, especially when you play on the high difficulties. Redout 2 is a thrill, and if you don't already have pilot-like reflexes, this game will give you some. Pitching, steering and boosting around the track will become second nature after a few hours with the game. Don't worry too much about the difficulty level, there is plenty of assists in the game which will help you out progress through Redout. The game will give you a very satisfying feeling of accomplishment once you start steering, strafing, pitching, boosting perfectly throughout the tracks and demolishing your opponents. Just be careful not to overheat your ship too much, because once you do, you will be running on the health bar, and if you run into a wall with your health low, your ship explodes. Bonus objectives will be awarded at the end of the event. Obviously, you want to be collecting all the stars to progress through the game. You will get 3 stars for first place, and an extra star for beating the bonus objective. Bigger events offer multiple rewards depending on how many stars you collect in total. Most of the time you will be rewarded a performance upgrade first, and then visual customizations afterwards. Many events require you to complete previous events in order to unlock them, while other events will be available once you reach a certain amount of stars. As you progress through Redout, your ship is gonna get faster and faster, you will unlock more ships, and the opponents are gonna get a lot tougher. This game has a huge amount of content. After 10 hours I have about 100 stars, and as you can see there's 1,439 stars for you to collect. So you will not run out of content anytime soon. If you're looking for your next screensaver or background image, the photo mode of Redout has you covered. Whatever you can imagine within this world, you can take a photo of it. The more you familiarize yourself with the game, the harder you want the tracks to be, and they will be. As you advance through the game, you will get harder and harder challenges, and if you feel like that's still too easy for you, you can always increase the difficulty of your opponents. Good luck with Nightmare! In case you're wondering, you're actually listening to the non-copyrighted soundtrack of this game. And as you can hear, even the streamer mode version of the soundtrack is an absolute banger. Combine that with jaw-dropping graphics and extremely high difficulty, you're in for a ride. The developer 34 Things completely outdone themselves with this game. It is so much more impressive, in my opinion, than Redout 1. It improved in every single aspect. I can recommend Redout 2 for any anti-gravity racing fan out there. No need to look further than this. You will enjoy this. Redout 2 is now available on Steam, the Epic Games Store, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and the Nintendo Switch. I'm a big anti-gravity racing fan, and this is definitely a game that is worth playing. I was already a big fan of Redout 1's tracks and visuals, but Redout 2 just exceeds it in every possible way. I love the design of the ships. I think they did a fantastic job in making every ship look unique and amazingly detailed. This is the kind of detail that I want to see in more games. Redout 2 is unique in its own style. It combines elements that you've played before and turns up the difficulty to 11. And to be honest, if you just want to enjoy the game, turn on the assists, reduce the difficulty, because this game not only has an amazing soundtrack, but also impressive visuals. In a time where anti-gravity racing has become a niche product, I'm really happy for this game's existence. I wasn't expecting another Redout, but I'm also more happy that it did come out. And if you guys find me online, don't kick my ass too hard. Also, thank you so much for Saber Interactive for sponsoring this video. If you get interested, you can check out the game in the link below.